We're at E3 2016, catching up on Yooka-Laylee. I gotta say that there are very few games that sort of take you back to your childhood these days. There's not a lot of games that sort of harken to those early days, and it's so nice to see something. And here at E3, we're privy to it almost feels like a finished world that we can look at, and just see, it's come such a long way. For those who are unfamiliar with what this kind of game is, what is Yooka-Laylee?
Well, it's the Kickstarter was we build it as a spiritual successor to some of our former glories, like Banjo-Kazooie. It's a 3D open world platformer made by many of the creative guys behind classics such as Donkey Kong Country and Banjo-Kazooie.
Right. But I think one of the key takeaways here from E3 is not sort of what it harkens back to, but instead what it aspires to, the new things you're adding, and just how to take this sort of game to the next level.
Yeah, I think we're trying to bring all the nice tickly warm bits from Banjo-Kazooie and those kind of games and bring it up to date. So we want to get that kind of spirit of those kind of games, but also add new stuff. Because hopefully we're better now than we were then. I'm a better composer, Steve's a better artist, so hopefully we can add some new things to it to make it a bit more special. But I mean, just the fact that it's on a new up-to-date system, the graphics look a lot better, the music sounds a lot better, all that stuff, is going to be better anyway, So I think we're very cognizant to make sure that we have enough of that kind of spirit in the game, but also adding new bits that will enhance the experience for the players that know it,
We're trying to make the game less linear and build things around player choice. So there's like the expandable worlds, where because the expanded worlds are so big, we start the player off with a smaller area of manageable world, and then when they're ready, they think they can take it, they expand the world with pages, or they can make the choice to move on to another world and see a brand new world. Or there's the tonics, which are like gameplay modifiers. So if you're struggling with a particular challenge, you've got a bit of help with the tonics. The moves, you don't have to do them you don't have to learn them in the same order. Well, it's not learn, it's buying this time. You buy the moves, so you don't have to buy them in the same order. You can buy them in what order you want, or even choose not to buy them.
Very interesting. I also found something that was fascinating with this sort of expanded world is how you can modify them by doing certain quests and sort of getting different kinds of content. There's lots to explore there, not just sort of go through it once, but there's a lot of things that can...
Yeah, they're not just self-contained chunks of brand new world. What happens in those expanded worlds can feed into the world as a whole as well, so that's a really cool feature. Yeah,
we're trying to suit lots of playing styles, so the guys that want to rush through it and get to the end can do that. The guys that want to explore it all can do that too. So it's a bit of a mixture, so it should please all the players all the time, hopefully.
Another interesting thing, and we sort of touched upon this a little bit, but the collectibles, because that's something that it's hard to do it right. I mean, everybody loves to collect things, but everyone can also get tired of collecting too many things, and if it's not meaningful.
Absolutely. No, I think that also like with DK64, like we did that game right. So we kind of learned our lesson a little bit. So we think we know the right balance of collectibles. Plus the fact we're trying to make them really. You collect them for a proper reason. Like it's not just to get a number of things. That they do something special. So they're all really tied to a certain thing. So I think we think it's less tedious and more. What's the word I'm looking for? Fun, yes, fun will do. Yeah.
Rewarding.
Yes, rewarding. Yes, rewarding and fun. Yes.
Yeah, with the Powerball, we've managed to cut back on the amount of collectibles because we've got so many moves and so many abilities. To have collectibles to power all those moves would have been a bit of, that would be a bit tedious. So we have a new system to manage the collectibles. And I think a big thing about the collectibles is how they look, and even down to the sound when you collect them. It all has to be satisfying. So we've paid a lot of attention to that.
And that final collectible, getting that one, and sort of the design that goes into sort of how to sort of because it needs to be sort of a challenge to find that final one. You need to sort of use some skill to it. It's not just about collecting them and running around. The ones that are really hard to get. That's something special.
Yeah. We want a real sense of people to be really satisfied when they do collect that final page or whatever it is, that final quill of the world. It should be a really satisfying moment. Yeah.
Can't avoid talking about the characters when you're here.
Do you like them? Do you like?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And it's not just Yooka-Laylee, because we've seen Joka and Laylee for a bit now. We know they're awesome characters. They're harking back to some of the greats of platforming, but also the side cast and the characters you meet in the world. There was this snake who was wearing pants and
trouser. Yeah. We've got we always say it's an embarrassment of riches with like the character department, because we've got guys that really like Mark Stevenson and Kevin Bayliss who've like worked on like created Battletoads, Killer Instinct, or Donkey Kong Country stuff with the cameo characters. So we're very experienced in that area. So we're happy we can manage it with the characters. Yeah. It's all about personality and kind of almost like an X factor and a likability with characters in these games, and we do our best, don't we?
Yeah, I think that we want people to play the game and just to smile, right? Turn the game on and just kind of smile and go, right? So that's the whole thing behind it, to make somebody smile. It's good fun. It's bright and colourful. It's got all that stuff that you like.
And I also enjoy the tact you're taking with introducing them, because I think this sort of game perhaps struggled a little bit with sort of how to move from the early days with how you present a character and sort of into 3D and voice acting and sort of animating them and everything like that. But you're sort of taking a step back so that you're letting the player perhaps fill in the blanks a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, with the dialogue system, that's one of the things that is deliberately retro, because we've rendered the little heads as 3D sprites like we did back in the day. So it's just a nice connection between the old games.
Mm-hmm. So I can't avoid talking about the soundtrack either. But what's gone on since last we talked about it, and how's it progressed and evolved, if you will?
I think I'm trying to, have some of the elements of the older stuff that some people recognise it, but also I'm trying to, same again, introduce some new stuff. So, and also I think it would have been easy for us to be on autopilot and just kind of do it like we always do, and we're very conscious not to do that. So musically and graphically, we're trying to make sure that we push ourselves to make something really special. So like I know that banjo's got quite a good reputation for music, so I think I'm going to be judged on this game quite a lot. So I'm trying to make it really special. So it's nice to have everyone's commenting on stuff. So it's kind of very flat things. So we all kind of comment on things, and it's nice to get that kind of feedback. And also having Andy Robinson on the team. Andy was a journalist originally, but he's on the team now. So he's quite a good kind of a fan of the games. So he's a really good sounding board for that kind of stuff. Because I think we could easily go, yeah, it's great, and he's just kind of going, actually, it could be better than that. So it's nice to have somebody who's pushing us harder like that. So it's nice. It's a really thing to take care of. But the music, I'm trying to do the umpire like I've heard it many times, but also new stuff that I've learned since then, hopefully. So yeah, it's been a great experience, and I think I really feel it's all getting fleshed out now. The whole game's getting fleshed out. It feels like a real game. We've got a lot of content, a lot of music. It's all feeling like a really special thing now to us.
And we even got sort of a release window that's been announced early next year.
This quarter. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
A little bit there.
We'll be there. All right, that's a promise. What would you say is the state of the game right now? Are you is the content sort of almost there?
Content is pretty much there. Kind of the rough framework is there. So now it's just that period where we turn like a rough game into a good game, into a great game through constant iteration and polish. So that's the stage we're at now, and optimization and bug fixing. So that's for the next few months.
And since you have sort of shown us, I mean, the trailer was released last week, was it? Or what's the fan reaction been like, and sort of the reception?
It's been amazing, really has. Yeah, we never take the fan reaction, well, as long as it's positive. We never take it. We never take it for granted. It's always great to see. We'll read the forums, we'll read the comments. But yeah, it's just been wonderful.
No, I mean the videos are like 1 million views, something like that, because there's multiple versions of the video all over the place. So it's great people watching it and getting excited about it, and it makes us, it spurs us on to work harder because the people get so excited about it, and the fans have been so nice to us. Like this entire sort of year and a half has been just an amazing time for us. It's to get to start the game and then do the Kickstarter, which was amazing, and then we been a little bit quiet for for about a year getting things together. I mean they've been so supportive. We'll never forget that. Seriously, we've said it 1 million times, but we'll never forget that Kickstarter thing and how it went. It was just the most amazing thing any of us have ever encountered before. That's such a lot of goodwill. And when we said the game might be delayed till the first quarter, they're like, yeah, don't worry about it. We don't mind, as long as it's great. I mean, they waited 15 years, haven't they, for this? So, I guess 3 months more is not going to make a difference, So, yeah.
The trade is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more cool stuff to come over the next few months. So I think people are going to be really pleased.
That's a good teaser to end on. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, professional, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Thanks very much. Anytime.